Yeah, so I don't know what happened with that Zoom link. Normally, with events, it automatically connects to Acuity, and then when I went to sign into Zoom, it's like, oh my gosh, there's no link. So sorry about that. That was very weird. Kind of a glitch in the system, I guess. I just want to make sure because of that, nobody is trying to get on in other ways. And then we're gonna dive in. Okay. Yeah, we'll see. So others come in and go from there. So, yes, tonight we are doing a new moon circle. I'm super excited to do this. I used to do these like every month of new and full moons. Um, we're definitely going to be bringing these back because these are really a great way to align your energy. Obviously, new moons, it's a great time to set those intentions. And what's a really powerful practice is to set those intentions and like really like manifest or create with this like moon cycle. So for the next 2 weeks or so until the full moon, you're really feeling into whatever it is that you're calling in. This new moon in specific, though, it's a little bit different just because it is so in depth. It's so powerful. So between tonight, if you're on live or if you watch the replay tonight, or tomorrow, because tomorrow is technically like when the new moon actually is. Honestly, I feel like through the weekend. So like tonight, if you're on, and you feel called to come back to this tomorrow, this weekend, energies are still there. Um, but it's really, really powerful because there's so many different planets that are also in Aries. This doesn't typically happen. And also what I find cool is Aries is the first sign, like astrological sign. So the astrological new year. Aries is a really powerful sign. It's a sign where it's like I want to do it my way. Kind of like don't mess with me. Like there's a little bit of that like stubbornness. So that's going to be really good for you all as you move through this new moon cycle because what's happening is there's such an emphasis on really stepping up now, really stepping fully into your truth. Um, so you've been these last few months a little bit rocky. We've had a lot of clearing. There's been a lot of clearing, so literally physically from our lives. This could be careers, it could be people, it could be like there's a lot of people I feel like moving, like a lot of big life shifts, but also internally. We've been really encouraged to dive deeper into who we truly are. What are the like masks that we've been carrying? What no longer serves us? What are the old identities, right? There's been a lot of ego deaths that have been going on. Like, and what I mean by that, if you're not familiar with that, is like who we thought we were, who we've really like allowed ourselves to attach to. A lot of times we attach to jobs, we attach to roles, we attach to like how society perceives us. And these last few months, there's been a lot of that, a lot of like coming out of that, right? So a lot of sometimes internal conflict even just because it's not easy to kind of like really have to shift who you are or who you thought you were. And although it's exciting, right? And like if I'm seeing it from my perspective, like doing energy work, working, as an intuitive, it's exciting to see it. But also, like, I'm not gonna lie, like I've felt that too. And there's been times where like it is really hard and it's a lot. And, you know, like I said, like an ego death, like with that like terminology, so to speak, you are literally like experiencing like quote unquote deaths in some ways. So it's like deep sadness, two things that are maybe leaving your life, but have peace in knowing that anything that is going, the term realignment comes into play. So it's like anything that was kind of keeping you out of alignment, anything that was keeping you in a space of who you once were or who you really never were. But like maybe you just kind of like were placed into like from society, whatever. It has to fall away. And now or never. Like, we're now moving into a period where it's like we don't really have a choice. Where in the past it was like, oh, I can keep putting this off. Maybe next year, maybe next month. But with this new moon, with all of these planetary like lineups taking place in Aries, you don't really have the option anymore. So it's kind of like buckle up. Like it's gonna be fun. It's exciting because it's all really centered around you being who you truly are. So, I would encourage you all to kind of think about who you were when your journey, like not literally when your journey first began, obviously, when you were born. But like I feel like for all of us, right, there's moments in our lives that stand out to us where it's like for me, a moment that stands out, I'll give as an example, is like when I first started like my business, I was just leaving school and I was so inspired and so excited. And I was just like, of course. Like it was almost like a naive energy, which I feel, in my opinion, or innocent energy is like the best energy you can have because it's like, why wouldn't it work out? Like, and you're so excited, you're so passionate about it. And I just remember being bombarded with like people who were like older than me trying to give me advice and tell me how I should do things. And, it's almost like then the weight of the world kind of falls onto you of like responsibilities and like, just this ups and downs of like entrepreneurship or what other people are saying. Like there's just so much that goes into it. So for me, that moment always is like a standout of like, wow, that version of me, she was so just like ready and excited and just like, I don't care what anybody thinks or says, like, I'm just doing it and that's that, right? So like I use that as an example of like that was a moment that like really stands out to me of that like innocent energy. So, you all probably have a moment like that in your lives. I would encourage you to think about that because you might not be able to just like right on the spot pinpoint it. But between like today and tomorrow, yeah, like sit on it a little bit, see what comes through, see what comes up for you. How can we bring that energy back, right? Because it doesn't mean you have to be doing exactly like what you were doing at that time. You could have been in like high school. So you could be like a totally different person now. Um, but how can we bring those feelings back? Or like what could you be doing that encourages that, right? Because for a lot of us we've kind of shut down a little bit because somewhere along the way we have to survive. We're told what success is. We have other responsibilities. Some of you may have kids and just like other factors. So it's not always just that simple, right? But how can we tap into that again? How can you find something, if you haven't already, that brings back that passion, brings back that innocence? But passion is a huge, like, key word here because with this Aries energy, so much of it is like very fiery. So, passion, right? So find those things that light you up, that you feel like you could talk about for hours and hours and hours and hours and never stop. That's gonna make a big difference because I think for a lot of people, what Spirit's showing is it's kind of like we've kind of muted things or things have just kind of dulled and we want to bring that vibrancy back. And this new moon is really going to help you do that. This new moon is going to activate that potential once again. It's going to help you to remember. And so, kind of like what I was saying at the beginning, with this, it's like it's now or never. Like in the past, you could push these things off. You could say next week, next month, next year. I'll get to it eventually. Now, if you don't move towards the things that you're wanting or desiring, this doesn't have to be a career, right? It doesn't mean you have to like change your entire life, but it could just literally mean I love to paint and I haven't painted in years. Why haven't I? Right? Like little things like that. Like it doesn't have to be something anybody even knows about. But whatever it is that lights you up, whatever it is that brings you joy, that gets you excited, maybe that means you have to find something new. Or maybe it does mean you're gonna start a business or show up if you already have a platform or business, whatever, you're going to show up even more authentically. Like it could be something like that, but it doesn't have to be. It's really now just about finding the things that fuel you, that ignite you, that allow you to shine your light. Because if you don't, like I said, in the past, you could just keep putting it off. Now, you're going to become so aware of how out of alignment you are or how unfulfilled you are, you're not going to be able to deal with it. Like, you're literally going to be like, I need to do something because, like, this isn't it. I can't keep living like this. So, for some of you, like, that may even be why you're here today. Like, you're like, I need to make a change because this is not working anymore and I hope I find it tonight, you know? Um, so that's really a lot of the energy. It's really good, it's really exciting, but I posted on my Instagram story today. Some of you maybe have seen it. But I was gonna say that of like it really is like this like kind of like ready or not energy. So although that's good, right? And I'm like from my perspective, it's like oh, excuse me. It's like when I see it, like if I was to be giving you like a reading, I'd be like, this is really fun. This is really exciting. Like I see, like I can see where you're gonna go, and this is like so big and expansive. But sometimes there's a difference between like wanting something to happen and then for it to actually happen, right? Because sometimes we don't fully feel ready. Sometimes it's like, I need everything to be perfect. It's not perfect yet. Sometimes we don't fully feel worthy of it. So it's like just brace yourselves because even if you don't feel ready yet, you're more ready than you realize, and we could always be like more ready. So I did kind of already post about that. So if you saw that already, it's a little bit of a reiteration, but it's good. You're at the edge of the cliff. It's time to jump. It's time to jump to that other side because everything you're wanting wants you. You wouldn't have these desires if they didn't also desire you. So it's simply a matter now of allowing yourself to have it, to feel worthy of it. Um, and I'll leave you with this before I break down like going into the energy side of things. Um, just thinking about even like when people are manifesting, right? There's something to be said of, especially when you're talking about money. There's no difference between $20 and $20 million, like on an energetic level. The difference is the emphasis we put on it. Immediately, if you're like, to manifest, oh, I could manifest $20. That's easy. I have $20 literally in my wallet downstairs, you know? Easy. 20 million? I've never even known somebody who has $20 million, right? Like, immediately your mind is going to shut it down. Your energy behind it shuts it down. But the money, it's just money. So it's our emphasis, what we put behind it, how we view it. So I'm going to really encourage you guys to sit in this, to sit in, like lean into this when we dive deeper tonight and when we dive into, those things you're wanting to call in or have been calling in. What emphasis have I been putting behind this? Or have I been placing upon this? Have I been making it out to be something that's really hard to achieve? Or do I think it's easy? No brainer. Usually, if we're still calling it in, we're probably putting a little bit more emphasis on it than need be. We're probably making it out to be something that's a little bit more difficult simply because you probably haven't had it yet, right? You haven't achieved it yet. It's natural, it's normal. But tonight, I really encourage us, to lean into that of like, what if it is easy? What if it gets to just happen for me? And that's like really where the openings, the magic, the activation happens. So, if you've never done an energy activation with me, these circles, we start kind of like we just did with a little bit of like channeling around the energy and what to expect as you move forward. As we dive into the energy portion, I'll encourage you guys get comfortable. You could be sitting up or lying down. whatever works best for you. I personally like to lie down, but do what feels best to you. We're going to start with some breathing, some deep breathing, because what that's going to do is release the body's need to be in fight or flight. Especially, it's Thursday, so if you've had a busy work week or you're preparing for a busy weekend ahead, or, like I said, these last few months, it's been a lot. A lot of releasing, a lot of clearing, a lot of shifting. So naturally, you just might be in fight or flight. So the slower, deep breath allows our body to relax. It allows our bodies to kind of come from here back down a few notches. In turn, allowing the deeper healing to happen, allowing you to open up so that healing energy can come in, but also so we can really tap into your heart space to then take those next steps of what you're calling in, what we're feeling into, so on and so forth. So, we begin with the breathing. I will guide you through this whole process. If you don't see exactly what I'm saying, totally fine. This is your journey. Some people are super visual, some people are more like feelers, clairsentient. They feel energy. Some people just have a knowing. Some of you, I describe it as like will black out. And as we like finish up, you will wake back up and come back too. And just know you didn't miss anything. What that means is sometimes we have to like step out of our physical body. Megan, that's me. Yeah, I feel that. Even honestly, when I go back to these, it happens to me a lot when I do my own. Um, but sometimes it's like if we stay super present, our ego is going to try to control the situation. So sometimes we just need our ego to step out for the minute so we can fully receive. So just knowing you will receive everything you need, but also knowing I like to think of it like an IV drip. So when we're working with energy, um, you will receive what you need today, but you will continue to receive throughout the next few days because we will never like bring in too much energy that it like for instance like think of plugging too much into one outlet. It like blows a fuse, right? We don't want that to happen. Obviously will not happen. That's why it like slowly drips in. So just kind of be aware of that the next few days. You could have, transformative dreams. Um, you could have emotions working through. You could be really tired. You could be really activated and excited. Everyone's journeys are different. Um, but that's the biggest thing is just trust. Trust what you see, trust what you feel. If you have emotions that come up, let them out. Everyone's muted. So if you do feel like super emotional, cry. Get it out. Let yourself release. This is your time to do that. Because just tuning in before how I see this going tonight, we're doing some breathing. I refer to it as like with the breathing and induction, which just really allows you to get into that relaxed state. And then from there, we're gonna go into a little bit of clearing. But to me, it kind of feels like almost like if you were to have like, I don't know, some type of surgery or something where then after you're just receiving all the best like nurture and care. Because the last few months have been hard. They have, even though I think a lot of you have probably experienced a lot of growth these last few months. So it's like you could see so much good with growth also does often come like some degree of pain because there's shifts, there's clearing, all of that. So there's been more going on energetically than you've probably even been aware of. So that's where we're gonna begin, and that's where the emotions could come out, if any. You don't like it doesn't mean there will be, but you could. And then from there, we're really gonna be going into your heart space, and then it's kind of like Spirit showed it to me, like opening a book to this like new chapter, new energy, what you truly are here to do, who you are destined to be. We'll feel into that. We'll be bringing in a lot of energy lines, especially pertains to like gratitude, um, love. So even throughout the next like week, if you can feel into those energies more, like just even stopping for a minute and be like, wow, I'm like so thankful for this moment. Like maybe you're just like outside with your family. It's finally nice out. Everybody's laughing and having fun. Like this is just such a beautiful evening. Just like really being in that space because that's going to keep opening your heart. That's going to keep expanding, you know, all of this high vibrational energy that keeps you aligned to where you're going. So yeah, that'll probably be the gist of it, but like as always, I say that's where we're gonna go, and then we get into it, and spirit takes us in a little bit of a different direction. Um, some of this I will be guiding you through and talking, but there will be times where I'm literally working energy. So just knowing if I'm silent, it's not because we've lost connection or something. It's literally just because I'm moving energy. Um, but yeah, I think that's pretty much it. So, oh, just know like if you feel tingling, anything like that, that's just energy. Um, like I said, emotions, tingling. Sometimes people will feel like heat. Usually I say if you're feeling heat, that's like usually like emotions being released, like anger, stuff like that. So anytime you do notice that, just breathe through it to allow it to be released. But you might not feel any of that, and that doesn't mean you're not receiving, right? So yeah, I think that's it. So I'm gonna give you all a minute. You can get comfortable if you haven't already. If you do feel called, like I have my favorite crystal that I feel like I always use for energy circles. So if you do have like a crystal, if you want to grab a journal, if you want to light a candle, grab another blanket, feel free to do that. I'm just gonna give everybody a minute or two, and we're starting the energy portion about 25 minutes or so in. Whew. I swear I'm not tired. Whenever we do energy, yawning is a sign of releasing. So if you find that you're yawning a lot or do start yawning a lot, that's a good sign that you're releasing energy, moving through energy. But with that being said, we will get started. Sip of water, and then we'll dive in. Okay. Alrighty. So to get started tonight, we're just going to begin by closing our eyes and just bringing that awareness to the body. Really feeling yourself here in this present moment. Your body lying in your bed, or on the ground, in a chair, wherever you may be. And you may really find that you like imagine yourself sinking deeper into whatever is beneath you, supporting you. Just being in this present moment. Before we go any deeper, we're just welcoming in your spirit teams, angels, loved ones, any beings that you believe work with you from the highest sources of love and of light. Just to surround and protect the space, to assist in healing, as we also welcome in the energies of the new moon to guide us to our fullest potential. Show us the way to help us to go within deeper than we've ever gone so we can climb higher than we've ever climbed. And to begin, I just encourage you first to just really become aware of breathing in through the nose and out through the mouth. It can be a pretty just normal breath, like 4 in, 4 out, closer to like a box style breathing if you're familiar with different breathwork techniques. Just allowing a natural rhythm. the natural flow. Because for a lot of us, we don't breathe evenly throughout the day. And as you move through this new moon, although there's never a perfect balance, there is an emphasis on making sure you're giving and receiving. Because chances are you have been giving more than you allow yourself to receive for quite some time. So tonight, we're bringing energy back to you because you deserve to receive. You deserve to stop putting your life on pause for everybody else because you think you'll get to it next year when you're a little bit more ready. When you feel like you're good enough, whatever it may be. You were born ready. Your existence alone proves that you are ready. You deserve to live the life that you want, that's authentically yours, not what society says is success, not what your family has deemed as success, not what has happened to you in the past. Tonight we're getting real. Tonight we're being really honest with ourselves. What is the life that my soul craves? That is a question that we will bring up probably multiple times tonight. But it's also a question I'd encourage you all to sit on, to journal on, to think about, especially as you move through this moon cycle. Because we have to let go of the beliefs that it's not possible, that you're meant to survive, and that's it. That you're meant to just be okay with a life that doesn't really fulfill you, that doesn't actually feel good to you. Because you're meant to live a life that lights you up, a life that actually feels like you. So we're just thinking about that for a minute. Just what would it feel like to really let yourself be there? And what's funny is like you can feel like the energies of like the new moon of these beings that work with you. It's like, yes, 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 like do that, do that, do that. Let yourself just go there. What do you have to lose in this space? As the breathing continues, we're going to do a little bit of a nervous system reset breath for a few minutes. So it'll be in for 4 through the nose and out through 8, just to allow any remaining control, fear, ego, just to begin to fall away. As we breathe in through the nose, 3, 4, out through the mouth, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Breathing in, 2, 3, 4, and out, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And if you find that the 8 out is too hard, play around with breathing in for 4, out for 6. The key is just making sure your exhale is longer than the inhale. So breathing in, 3, 4. Breathing out, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And again, 3, 4, and out, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Breathing in, 3, 4. Breathing out, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. It's really keeping this breath going, finding a rhythm, finding a flow here. As we're going to begin this energetic journey today, tonight, whenever you're watching this. We're just setting up this container. First, you'll likely feel like you're being wrapped in a cocoon, a warm embrace. So we're just bringing to the surface the pressure you've been under. Maybe there's pressure you didn't even realize you were carrying. It's not yours to carry anymore. You deserve to be freed of this energy. So if you have any emotions that just begin to come to the surface, just breathe through it. Let yourself feel through it. It's coming up, emotions, memories, people, because we're moving you through it. It must come to the surface so it can be fully released. And I am sensing there's some old tendencies or habits that are really coming up right now. So we're really just beginning to clear anything out and pertains to action and how you show up in the world that's not serving you. That has actually been creating maybe like a wedge or a disconnect between who you've been and who you are meant to be. Releasing and letting go. Releasing and letting go. Procrastination. Getting stuck in like drama. What that might look like is creating situations in your head that actually have not even happened. It's your ego's way of trying to protect you from something that doesn't even exist. It could be constantly being reminded of something or someone that you believe wronged you or hurt you. It could be getting caught up in somebody else's drama, their problems. It could be something that's going on in the world or a reality TV show you watch. This one is a sneaky one that the ego likes to default to. We're just reprogramming this. We're shifting this around. So if you do feel anything up in the mind, head area, it's just because we're moving energy specifically in that space. We're scooping up any residue, any sediment, so to speak. It's not serving you. It's been weighing you down, keeping you stuck, creating brain fog, so preventing you from seeing clearly, distracting you. Now we're going down to the heart space. There's some sadness here. So this could be sadness over something that has happened recently to you. It could be a loss. It could be some sort of sadness towards yourself. Like, for instance, for some of us, we really struggle with getting older. Feel like you're running out of time, or you haven't fully lived up to what you thought you would. For some people, this could be like a breakup, whether it's with a relationship and pertains to like a significant other. It could be friends, it could be family members. For some, it could be sadness towards the world, different things that are happening, really be weighing on you. But tonight we're bringing a heart activation, because whatever it may be, you may not even be consciously aware of what it is. Just beginning to remove it. It reminds me of a plug, or like a cork that would be in like a wine bottle. We're taking that cork out. We're removing that plug so your energy can move freely here. Because when your heart is open, miracles become natural. When you spend more time in your body than your mind, you're naturally living from your heart. This is when those instant manifestations take place. When you see miracle after miracle after miracle. Because it gets to be this good. So we're also bringing in the Divine Mother activation at this time. So this is very nurturing, very loving. So if you feel like you're surrounded by the most adoring, loving, mother-like energies right now, that would be why. Just pouring in admiration, awe, feelings of just being so proud of you for all that you have done, the impact that you have made, because you don't even realize that just by smiling at a stranger on the street, An act that seems so small that you don't even likely remember. You could have changed their life that day. This feeling, this energy, it just reminds me of the movie It's a Wonderful Life. So if you're familiar with that movie, it's really all about the impact that we make on others and how we often overlook it. We overlook our kindness. We don't realize the positivity, the joy, the hope that you've brought to so many people. So in this space, just express that gratitude towards yourself. Because through it all, the earth is not an easy place to be. But through it all, you've done your best. You've loved on others. You've given when you could. And that in itself is a miracle, is beautiful. So you give thanks to yourself for this life you've created thus far. But now for being here tonight. You really are in that hard space. Because by being here tonight, or if you're watching the replay, you've made a decision. And that decision is you. Your purpose, your happiness, your light, your mission. Tonight will change the trajectory of your life. So you can receive more, become more, experience more you, more authenticity, real, raw, beautiful, authentic you. And you feel that energy brewing. And you see now that this is why you've experienced the shifts that you have these last few months. The shakeup has to happen to wake us up. Sometimes you have to get uncomfortable, so you finally make the necessary changes. So you can grow, so you can heal, so you can remove anything from your life that's not actually supporting you. We're bringing in the higher heart activation. It's a very potent, high vibrational frequency. Activates soul's purpose. One of diamond code energy. This activation goes deep into the core of your being, lighting the way, lighting the path for you to bring this to the surface, to your physical reality. And in a way that feels natural, it feels easy. It's like second nature to you. It just is. Because it's who you truly are. When you live from this space, you're not trying to be someone you're not. You're literally being you. So as we light this path, maybe you imagine that you're literally deep within yourself, traveling through tunnels or going up staircases. And this momentum is building. The power, the underlying resonance, the vibrational frequency is gaining momentum with every step up that you take. Because it is safe to be you. Safe to live as your most authentic self. It is safe to bring her to the surface. Up, up, up. You are rising. You are rising. You are rising. Feeling your power. Maybe you see colors. These would be specific to you and your soul, your mission. Just feeling that energy. Building and building and building. And you might not be able to explain it, but you can feel it. It probably feels right. Feels like you. Or feeling this truth as if it's like crossing a threshold, crossing that energetic barrier. And it's beginning now to pour into your body. Maybe it feels like waves or a ripple expanding with every breath. Expanding through your body now. Taking up space in your body now. Imprinting and igniting every cell in the body to this version of you. Certain, powerful, true. Certain, powerful, true. Because in this space, you don't have to explain yourself. You don't have to be anything or anyone. You simply are. And you feel this momentum as energy is beginning to circulate faster. as this version of you, your truth is beginning to radiate now, expand out through your energetic field. So surpassing the physical body, taking up space all around you. As far out as your energy expands, it is safe to be you. It is safe to take up space. It is safe for you to be excited about your life because it's never too late. If you were meant to be there already, you would be. Today is the perfect day to begin again because you are different than who you once were. You think differently. You feel differently. You know. You're no longer carrying self-doubt, insecurity, fear, unworthiness. We're infusing self-trust. We're infusing divine certainty. We're infusing worthiness. Feeling that energy expand even more. And now you feel yourself expanding through your life, walking through your life. And whatever ways feel aligned to you, feel true to you. How do you want to show up when you're living in full embodiment of self? What does your life look like? What does it feel like? Really letting yourself go there. What's happening for you? What are you declaring you experience? This could be love. It could be trips. It could be feeling. It could be a career. It could be financial gains. It could be health. It could be all of the above. What is your soul calling for you to experience, to create? Letting yourself have it. Letting yourself feel it throughout your entire body as we bring in the divine certainty activation. Because this is meant to be your experience. There's no need to put this on a pedestal or the ego to come in and try to micromanage it. This desire is on your heart because it's yours. You simply being alive proves your worth. You don't need to over-explain yourself. You don't need to make it harder to achieve. This is the universe telling you tonight it gets to be this good. It gets to be simple. Stop over complicating. Not everything is meant to be a struggle. It doesn't have to be hard in order to feel worth it. It gets to be easy because it's already yours. And in this new chapter, you're moving through life with this divine certainty within yourself, within the world, within God, Creator, universe, whatever you believe in. You may take a few more minutes here, feeling this energy pulse through you. Just continuing to familiarize yourself, your cells, with this energy. We're just bringing in some final sealing activations. May this energy stay. May this energy continue to expand and take up room in your body and your energetic field. May you spend more time in your heart than you do your mind, living in your body. And maybe you end this journey with something you've decided. I have decided blank. I've decided that it gets to work out for me. I have decided, and insert what you have decided you've already received or that's already going to happen. Speak it as if it's already done. Such certainty. Let the universe figure out the rest. Your job is to remain open and to be so certain that it is already yours. May you receive all that you desire, hope for, long for throughout this new moon cycle and beyond. And just take your time. You may feel called to just soak up this energy. If you fell asleep, you may feel called to just allow yourself to drift off. So as discussed, you can come back to this whenever you feel called. Obviously, between this next few days with this new moon, great too, but also you could feel called to come back to this next month. Listen to your body, drink a lot of water, And if anybody has any experiences you want to share, you can always do so. You can message me, email me, because I always love to hear your experiences. Like I said, I'll be sending out this replay. If it's not tonight, it'll be by the morning, so you'll see it in your inbox. And yeah, if there's anything else I can do to support you guys, as always, I am here for you. My website may have changed. It used to be Soul Getters, is now just my name, Gabriella D. Thomas. So you can find me there, or same on Instagram, Gabriella D. Thomas. I offer my intuitive sessions, and I have my app or membership filled with like different activations, journaling prompts, really everything to help you stay in alignment. I like to kind of think of it like the gym for your soul. And then I also have my energetic containers, which are those high-end, um, really diving deep into your energy, helping you to really expand into that next level. So if that is something you're interested in, you can always reach out to me about that as well. So I do I'm pulling helpful and powerful and releasing. Oh, I'm so glad to hear that, Christine. I am glad. I know. I feel like that's why sometimes doing these things is like really great because it gives us the opportunity to really, like you said, not just know it, but then to really feel through it, to really acknowledge it. Sometimes we just need to come to peace with it, and it kind of like severs that connection. So I'm really glad and happy for you that you were able to do that. And I thank you for sharing that. But I do hope you all have a wonderful evening. Like I said, if there's anything else that you want to share with me, have questions about, always here to support you guys. But I thank you for being here, whether you're live or on the replay. And I hope you have an amazing, amazing new moon and enjoy your weekend ahead. You are welcome. You are welcome. Have a great night.